After last week's problems with power, I'm taking no chances. Generator. Check. Candles. Check. Batteries removed from various devices that I found around the station. And I have promised not to say whose they were. Check. Emergency lighting cobbled together from some of the lights around Norma's dressing table. Check. I guess we're ready to go. Hey, who turned out the lights? Why is there no fuel in this generator? Oh, there's nothing for it. We'll have to run the show entirely on batteries. Fingers crossed, everyone.
Our mics on.
Oh. Seamless. Mia, don't stop peddling whatever you do, or I won't be able to see where I put my gin and tonic. Hello, everyone. Harry Balzac here, coming to you from a dimly lit Studio 5, where I'm joined by the lovely Norma Snockers.
Hello, everyone. Harry, I don't like to complain, but when you reached out for your drink in the dark just now, that wasn't the glass you grabbed.
I wonder why it was warm. Pedalling away, by which I mean, of course, on a static cycle, providing power for us, not opening an old Mac full of dodgy watches, is the apology officer, Mia Harkness.
I had to add those watches to the inside of the Mac. The police wanted to know why I kept showing people what was inside.
And we have our resident expert on all things that go on under the covers. It's Juan Kerr.
Good evening, everyone. Looks like a packed programme tonight, even if it's not a packed studio.
And fresh from battling the forces of evil, it's Wilma Fingerdew.
Thanks, Harry. The forces of evil were, in this case, my comms provider. It must be the curse of Thursday. Again.
If we're ever going to release those poor folks from the green room, then we better get on with it. Tech Monkey? Oh, well, that's me. Bing those bongs.
You'll go further if you do it with harmony.
Printing penchant proves profitable.
So this is how you avoid pirates.
Flossy boards the gravy train.
Beaver to save mankind from a hairy situation.
McStiffy off the menu as NPC truckers switch to Apex.
New Sinbad tried to tear Mobius off a strip.
Never mind the frolics. Here's the BGS.
I've got updates on community-led events.
Taking a break from seeing how far she can go in ridding the galaxy of pirates, Commander Alex Zuno has linked with Commander Volcarius, and they're using their brains to see how far they can go across the galaxy. They've called this project Harmony. You'll remember that Alex Zuno's previous project, designed to show how to pick the best ship, equip it, and then use it effectively against pirates, is called Hunter. If you've ever played the Tower of Hanoi game, or planned your own Antarctic expedition, or indeed been part of a long-range rescue such as those performed by the Fuel Rats, you'll have some idea as to what's involved. Fly out, realise you've run out of fuel, so wait for someone to deliver more. But they'll run out, so they'll need someone else to help. But what if they run out? Can you see where this is going? Thanks to our brave commanders who faced migraines, over-caffeination, but definitely not cries of nerd. After all, you'll remember what Alex Zuno is best known for, and it's not her skills at knitting. They have created a definitive guide which they've subtitled What to Do as a Group When Your Collective Goal is to Travel Really, Really Far in Supercruise. But we prefer everything you ever wanted to know about not being embarrassed by running out of fuel, but were afraid to ask. Now, if you're the kind of person who describes themselves as artistic, and whenever your teacher asked a question in maths class, you looked down at your feet and drew pictures of naked Thargoids on your exercise book, then you're in luck. There are plenty of pictures and videos for you to watch, whilst those for whom Harmonic Series doesn't conjure up images of a 12-part Galview program on mouth organs can read, digest, wonder, wish that Red Bull still existed in the 34th century, and be grateful that paracetamol still does. It's a tremendous piece of work. You can find it at iniv.space/harmony/ and very nearly definitively answer the question, given enough fuel assistance, how far can Commander travel in Supercruise? But there are some small gaps. Alex may ask us for help in gathering these last few bits of data at some point.
They often say you should go large or go home, and Major General Noctavegas isn't one for going home. In a recent Galtwit post, he is proudly shown his latest creation, an adapted version of the same technology used to make mini mugs, but where he has reversed the polarity, or something equally implausible, to create enlarged versions of sampled materials instead of miniatures. Initial results have been promising, and the Major General has been using his new sampler/3D printer from yellowsnow.inc. He has produced an outsized Hutton mug comparable in size to the now extinct Sports Direct mugs of the 2000s. This, and a drunken evening watching old movies, led him to try the process with living tissue. A friend had kept a hanky with some drool from Alvin on it, which was gathered at a recent visit to Hutton, and was handed over to the Major General, who set to work in his labs in Kokojo. There are no words to accurately explain how well the process went. You really have to see it for yourself. Parts of Fragland have been renamed to Spaniel Park, a place where visitors can take a tour and see what Nocti has created. Herds of Bronto Spaniels sweep majestically across the savannah. Sou'westers and waterproof jackets are provided to protect visitors from lickies given by the Avenosaurus rex, and cockrodactyls fly to their nests high up in the mountains, bearing fruit from the gravy bone trees for their young. Budget Clones for You have been working overtime to provide a team of Snoswell clones who welcome visitors and tend to the needs of the various denizens of the park. It's a rush job and it shows. They are almost indistinguishable from the real thing. The eco-aware visitor to the park can take a tour of its revolutionary power plant, which provides energy to the park and nearby towns. Clean energy is provided using turbines which harness the rotational energy of velocicockers chasing their own tails. More Snoswells with a bulldozer and a poop bag the size of a hot air balloon are available to take care of any little accidents. Later in the year, Nocti hopes to add some new species, such as a giant man shark with a dodgy Italian accent called a megadon, and variations on the great bearded tit commonly known as a Pearson, Latin name Magna Ophis pearsoni.
Now, we know that there are many ways of avoiding interdictions, or at least making sure that you're not vulnerable. There's the conventional cut and thrust of making your little blue bit bigger than their little red bit and seeing who lasts the longest, known colloquially as highest up the wall. There's the peekaboo method, where you throttle down as soon as there's a mention of tasty cargo or there you are, dropping to normal space, then charging your frame shift drive but keeping your throttle at 0. Then as soon as the pirate drops out, just hit boost and you'll enter supercruise just as your ship passes theirs, giving you just a fraction of a second to register their astonishment. There's the Brave Sir Robin method, where you high wake to another system since you can't be mass locked. But this is not popular amongst long-haul pilots who then have to restart their trip to 36 Oppiuchi or, of course, our very own Hutton Orbital. Commander Whispering Dave reminded us this week of his Galtube extravaganza, where he was interdicted near Sothis and demonstrated the Glasgow Kiss method of avoiding an interdiction. Now, this is not, as you might think, a way of causing physical damage to the pirate, which gives you a headache and them an urgent need for a handkerchief. Instead, as the old Earth comedian Bob Newhart might have said, So what do you do next, Dave? You face a planet, yeah. Or better still a sun. Okay, so what do you do then, Dave? Just sneak around, you hide behind it? Yeah. Oh, you accelerate. Then you slam into the body exclusion zone and drop out into normal space, instantly causing damage to your ship. Well, Dave, it seems to us that that's going to be a potential cause of problems right there. Oh, there's more. Then you wait a long time for the cool down. Well, if you're sitting near a sun, that's likely to be a long time, isn't it, Dave? Then what, Dave? Do you call for the hull seals? Only if you've forgotten your heat sinks. Well, look, Dave, why don't you go back and examine your technique and just give us a call when you work out what the fundamental flaw is. Goodbye.
Galactic Siren Flossy. No, really. She lures pirates to their doom in asteroid belts and ringed planets by broadcasting herself singing Gracie Fields' songs. And when the pirates lose control of their ships, as they have both hands off their controls and firmly plastered to their ears, she laughs. A quiet, butter wouldn't melt, innocent laugh, but with a faint whiff of brimstone, for which she usually says, "Pardon me." Like I say, Galactic Siren Flossy nearly came a cropper this week as she had to interrupt her mining to fly her ship to the nearest starport for an urgent call of nature, owing to the onboard facilities being hors de combat, as it were. And Wrongway permanently promising to update her ballcock, but somehow getting sidetracked to the pub every Thursday when she was supposed to be going to the plumber's merchant. Eyes newly uncrossed, Flossy flew back to sublimating her aggression by taking it out on innocent rocks. But what had she done? Or rather, what had she not done? She'd not sold her onboard stash, and so her siren call became more of a honey trap as the pirates scanned her ship and, inserting their earplugs, rubbed their hands with glee and demanded some of Flossy's tasty cargo. 20 tons of it, to be precise. Say what you like about Flossy, as long as you're outside the reach of her pan, but she is always willing to compromise, and since she never carries a gun, she really doesn't have a lot of choice in the matter, and so she dutifully dropped 20 tons. Well, you all know what happened next. These weren't proper pirates keen to get rich off other people's sweat, toil, tears, and seismic charges, oh no. These were just space yobs, hanging around ring planets for kicks, drinking cheap cider made from badly bruised windfalls of Eden apples, annoying passers-by. So, After Flossie dropped her cargo, they pretended not to notice and kept asking for 20 tons, despite Flossie's protestations, and were now starting to give Flossie little shoves with their engineered pulse lasers. At this point, our brave lass had had enough, and she set out trying to get out of Masslock, desperate to find any port in a storm, when she saw, as if it was coming towards her through slowly clearing mist, a fleet carrier, and not just any fleet carrier, with a name such as Ivor Biggin or My Other Fleet Carrier is a Corvette. Oh no, but Laughing Gravy. No, really. That's what it's called. Did none of you ever watch historical documentaries like Way Out West or Pardon Us? Laughing Gravy was one such, and was named after the dog that was the star of the piece. Flossie lived for a time in the birthplace of the skinny one, and so it was like the spirits of the ancient age when the whole world was in black and white called out to her, and she was saved. Of course, such a fan of Centauri Megagin as Flossie would be well aware of the alternative meaning of laughing gravy as a euphemism for booze, during Prohibition, black and white days again, but we don't think that's what attracted her to the floating haven. Repaired and restocked with limpets, Flossie returned once more to the rings, and having boosted away from the unwanted attentions of any passing corsairs, resumed her previous activities. So, if you're looking for a pristine ring, and the chorus of Sally comes over the system chat, we suggest that you look elsewhere for your mining.
And next, news from the natural world. Naturalists, no, we didn't say naturists, that would change the entire tone of the article, are campaigning for the return of a much loved and necessary part of Earth's biodiversity: beaver. Long extinct on Earth for centuries, the public have complained that the absence of beaver on parts of old Earth where it was once abundant is a travesty that should be addressed. Whilst the night shift, many of whom are of American heritage, have plenty of beaver on their adopted planets, the day shift, hailing from what's left of the United Kingdom, don't have any. With rising sea levels and climate change, yes, 3307, we have all accepted that it was bad and meant places like London sunk under the waves, and Birmingham had to be renamed Birmingham-on-Sea, and wild weather patterns, flash floods, are a problem, and the easiest solution is, in this case, it's not technology, it is beaver. Beavers love messing about with and munching on wood, which of course helps with rivers and flooding. I'm not sure what you thought we meant, but wash your brain out with soap. And dead meat, keep your hands where we can see them, please. Plus, just about everyone likes a little beaver, or wood, or both. Anyway, we support this important natural way to stop much of the rest of the planet turning into Venice, thus pushing the prices up in all the restaurants and empowering anyone with a boat, a long stick and a stripy top to try to sleep with the passengers and charge a fortune for the privilege. And also the guy from last week.
Favourite cold beverage of the long-haul trucker, the McStiffy, so named because instead of hundreds and thousands, that's sprinkled to the night shift, they used crushed up little blue pills as decoration. It's suffering from moistness interrupters. Supplies have dried up, as NPC truckers are no longer keeping their end up and are taking new positions with Apex taxis. We're not taking this lying down. We were fed up being interdicted so much for our tasty cargo, said one spokesperson. The banter might be banal and the pay mediocre, but at least we don't get pillaged every time we set foot out of the toast rack. McThargoids have apologised for the lack of creamy filling when you pull the handle, saying it never happened to us before, and the promise that if we just wait a while, normal service will be resumed, and they'll once more be ready to fill your receptacle. This disappointment for all its clients cannot come at a worse time for McThargoids, as demand was rising, as hinted by Galnet News Digest, as due to the galaxy's current political instability, more and more people wanted McStiffy in their hand, which they could make use to make a mess on any politicians that they came across. The problem has been thrust into the face of the Pilots Federation, and officials are said to be considering using prisoners to bridge the gap. Commander Westhorpe is said to be delighted at the news, or at least he wouldn't have to spend the remaining years of his life stuck in Pilgrim's Ruin. Stations all over the bubble are frantically re-recording announcements, as loitering is now a crime punishable not by destruction, but by being required to deliver a swift McStiffy to the docking area. And no, that's not a euphemism. Of course, even when affected places are returned to their normal operation, the machine will be, as usual, broken, but that's not the point. It's about McStiffy potential, which in current troubling times is zero.
Out in Colonia, the Mobius Colonial Republic Navy, or MCRN, is having a bit of an off day. Not only were they battered out of control of their system by the Privateers Alliance, but before they could pick themselves back up, they were besieged by Sinbad the Bad. Yes, he's very bad, but Sinbad the Very Bad and extremely naughty just doesn't have the same ring of menace to it somehow, as he attempts to take Mobia away from its rightful owners. You'll recall that Twirly Mustachioed the Bad was previously kicked out of WNL by Hutton on behalf of EDS 38 last year for being naughty, in an operation led by Millstone Barn and Graham NK, and featuring many truckers of note, including Cecil, which just shows you how desperate they were. The evil disporter of over-elaborate facial furniture just can't help himself apparently. Being bad is at his very core, and it's an epithet that he revels in living up to. And we suspect that the Privateers Alliance were merely pasties, encouraging to attack Mobia like someone egging on a drunk in a bar fight. This is the kind of thing that Sinbad is well known for, getting someone to do his dirty work and then turning up and saying, "We didn't think you wanted it anymore." Our friends in Mobius have mobilised a fight back to try and prevent war in the system, with a special mention for MCMDRs Weissman, Winnie, Phantom Help, and Klepter. Although MCRN is currently pulling ahead, they need all the help they can get. They have several carriers in system, and the MCRN Mjolnir and MCRN Sumitatum Aeris are well placed for logistics support and combat zones. But an interloper has been spotted. A fleet carrier from the group known as Lomac, or the Like Dealer. A self-styled group of corsairs who have modelled themselves on the Victual Brothers, who had a substantial influence in the 14th century on life by the North Sea and the Baltic Sea. Their best-known forebear was the so-called Klaus Stotterbecker, named from the Low German, wait for it, overthrow the mug. If that's not a call to arms, I don't know what is. Lomac claimed that Stotterbecker's name was actually given for his drinking prowess, but we don't want to take any chances. If you've finished your homework and done your Hutton chores, then please help our Colonian brethren keep moustaches to a sensible length.
Bah, what do you lot know about moustaches? What I couldn't tell you about lip weasel wrangling isn't worth knowing.
Never underestimate the power of the dash.
It's been the holiday season in Hutton Space in recent weeks, which continues its run of fair space weather, with all systems blue across the board, no clouds on the horizon, and no packs of predatory seagulls lurking the ambush to pinch our chips. For most of the week, we have had only 6 systems outside our preferred 40 to 60% influence envelope, the least for some time. We have only 2 systems below 40% this week. Barnard's Star recovered briefly with a small bump after 10th Fleet lost their election earlier in the week, but it has now slid back to a lamentable 28. Another war has broken out for second place in Barnard's Star, tying up almost a third of the system's influence, and whoever wins that war will be perilously close to Hutton. So, truckers, get in there and do some trucking. Last week's other laggard, Ross 671, gained an impressive 8 points in the week, but Kakari has dipped below the preferred influence envelope to 39. But Barnard's Star is the one to watch. Even Epsilon Eridani has managed to haul itself up to 42. At the top end of the systems league, we have 6 systems above 60%, with none over 70. In our last expansion, we ended up in LHS 1358, but since it already has 2-player factions and is a tiny place with no remarkable features and only 2 outposts, we're leaving. Happily, we've been losing the war against the Roughnecks, but presently it is tied at 2-all, so if anyone who fancies a bit of pew-pew, head over there and help the Roughnecks boot us out. Meanwhile in Colonia, the Grand Poobah of Colonia himself, Architect Archie Hankey, asked that truckers fight for hot coal in the war in Pythias against Societas Eruditorium and De Civitas Dei, and vote for hot coal by running election missions in Tyr against the Colonia Cooperative when it kicks off tomorrow. Note, tomorrow is an absolute term and not relative to the system you are in, but it's used in its galactic standard meaning based upon full rotation of old Earth in Sol. Or so the guy from last week told me. Priorities this week are, if you want to truck something, boost Hutton influence in Barnard's Star. If you want to shoot something, help Hutton lose the war against the Roughnecks in LHS 1358, or help out in Pythias in Colonia.
If you like events organised by fellow commanders, then this is the place to be. As usual, links will be posted in Twitch chat and also in the description of our YouTube upload. As the fleet carrier Konsu makes its way along the 124 waypoints of the Cannon Challenge, those commanders who have hitched a ride are getting front row seats to a grand tour of the galaxy. Commander Mephisto has parked for a little while just to send us this update.
Our picture was taken at waypoint 64 of the Comfy Cannon cruise. Yet another P-type anomaly was featured, number 12 this time. At the middle waypoint 65 of 129, the Chalice genus of pod was introduced with the Albidium species. Waypoint 66 featured the Viride species of the same genus. Commander G-Man 14 thankfully found 2 overlapping tritium hotspots right in one of the systems en route to the next cruise destination. So Konsu is staying there to refuel for a few days again.
The SWS High G Summer Slamdown 3307 expedition has been going for a few days now and continues until September the 5th. For those of you interested in a long range, that's 66,000 light years, high gravity body landing tour compatible with both Odyssey and Horizons, will not only fun to be had, but prizes as well. Commander Richard Flurians M was out of comms range until 4 minutes before the show. But here is the last minute news.
We have arrived at Goliath and the Lithobreaker and have had a lot of deaths on the way. However, tragedy happens as we see that the transition to Odyssey has made some planets not landable anymore, as the expedition seems to be in a bit of a problem with that, but thanks to the efforts of our brave scouts, we've been able to find replacements.
FGS Glorious Wall surveys on the Monkey Head Nebula is progressing nicely as they mine, explore and make landfall on planets in and around nebulas such as the Monkey Head. Commander Wiener Warlock says,
Several commanders took advantage of their first experience with the black hole to experiment. Defeated Inc. tried creeping up on one, whilst Elliot Coleman took a more bull in a china shop approach by metaphorically putting his head down and charging full tilt, hoping to pass the event horizon and discover a wormhole, presumably to Rexar. Both commanders found out to their cost that the ship's engineers were way ahead of them, and they soon learned what body exclusion zone means.
I am Nickman Glorious Walls. Captain was happy to lend their fleet carrier to the expedition, and in return gained from many evenings spent around the bar, chatting and looking at photographs, especially at the Crab Pulsar, and they offer grateful thanks to those providers of ED Astro, EDSM and all of the other tools that have made it possible to plan, organise and collaborate this event and others. And finally, for this week's report on monkeying around in the Monkeyhead Nebula, Commander Jet Reno said that their highlight was the green gas giant, and presumably his sweet corn, hot to haul, and is looking forward to the upcoming events for this weekend, where members of the expedition will meet for some SRV racing or mountain climbing. The Wild Wild West expedition is almost ready to depart, starting from Colonia on the 28th of August at 1600 UTC. And as they say, somewhere over the horizon in the deep of the black, far beyond Icarus Folly, and round the Devil's Dance Floor and through the great plume of Axoria, answers to questions that shouldn't be asked, and wail longingly into the darkness. If that doesn't whet your appetite, Commander Logic Kid, 1970, sent this little missive, and if I ever write a book about the expedition, this is what you'll find on the inside of the front dust jacket. The bubble is no place to live, the tensions are high, the politicians are crooks, the space dust is thick with guides, and morality has a price tag. So go west and grow up with the stars. Join the intrepid Airman Dan and the analog kid as they mosey across the rich, dark prairie. This undertaking's origin is the story of a man and his cat. Early in the airman's career, he looked to the expanse with dreams of worlds uncharted, and from the cockpit of his first 22 light-year Cobra, he bookmarked systems like Waypoint 8, which sits a staggering 50,000 light-years from the bubble, knowing that one day he and his furry sidekick would make this perilous journey together. Years passed, stories were made, technology improved, but the pair never made the voyage. Then Commander Toby, gentleman and co-pilot, returned to the stars. But undeterred, the man called Dan built his fortune, bided his time, then met another who shared his vision. Together they struck out west, and the rest is history. And that's all we have this week from community-led events. If you want yours to be featured, just email itookpart@huttonorbital.com and we'll get in touch.
And that was the news, but that's not the end of the interesting bits. Stay tuned for brand new Galnet News Digest, Flossy's roundup of the CG News, Hutton Sports Report, and of course the Green Room. But first... Seamless.
The talky bits!
Lucky bit.
Yeah.
Don't go straight for the aardvark.
It's too early for aardvarks.
Yes.
Sorry.
Hello, everybody.
So yes.
Hello.
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 Hello. Yeah, hello.
Right,
So
well, that's
yes,
that
we
then.
have the green room tonight.
We
We
do.
do have the green room tonight. It's a green room night.
So everyone should be getting packed in there and ready because, you know, we want to chat to everyone.
Yeah,
Yeah.
both of you.
Yeah, I'm looking at you, Millstone Barn. I'm looking at you. Night Ranger's already in
Yeah,
there.
no, yeah.
And Cloud Atlas, I can see you.
One person who will not be joining us, unfortunately, I've been messages Commander Jackman,
No.
who is trying to send a missive from Cubicle 3.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I think that's enough said. So, and
Yeah,
apparently,
paper again.
and apparently, cricket is good. Okay.
Yeah. Yes,
Yeah.
I would say
a
it was
little bit
good
crunchy.
for.
Yeah. Yes, quite. So get
So yeah, but I hear the
better,
acoustics
Jackman.
are lovely in there.
Yeah.
It's about the only thing that's lovely in Cubicle 3.
I spend all of my time in there. Oh, it's a bit
There would be
crowded
more
here with
choking.
Jackman in it.
There would be more choking noises if you were in Cubicle 3.
Yes. So we can see people moving in. They're well done, people, for moving into the green room ready. Okay.
Nice.
Okay. So what are we going to talk about? What are we going to talk about?
Stuff. Oh, and things and stuff, and
Nocturnal badger-sized animals.
no.
No, I want to hear. I want to hear about the nocturnal badger-sized animals.
No, you don't.
Not yet. We'll tell you what it is later. We'll tell you later.
They've got long, snuffly snouts and they eat termites.
Yep. So there was Super Q's News was back this week, and its new bi-weekly format. So it's number 45 on Tuesday with Zach and Bruce.
Okay, and what happened?
Well, I was getting to that bit before you interrupted me.
Oh, okay.
Not a lot, to be honest.
Okay.
They sort of prefaced the update 7. So I think they didn't actually say when it was. They kind of hinted, and then they never actually said. But the dev update is next week, which I assume is Tuesday, but it could be Thursday. So I don't really know.
Unless it's Wednesday.
It's Tuesdays and Thursdays they tend to do it. So they were kind of signaling that. So update 7 will be the subject. Yeah.
Sort of. Yes, we know it's coming on a date, but if we give you a date, you'll only whinge. So we'll just leave it until we can be absolutely sure we're doing it. Yeah.
Yeah. That's a different audience.
Sounds like a plan.
It does. So, do you want to know what you might be getting in update 7?
Tell me. Yes, me. Tell me.
Flossy, you can. Flossy, you don't know combat. You can switch off now for a few minutes. Amelia, you're mine. You don't need to know any of this.
I'm on Xbox. I'm not interested.
Well, it's just you and me, Harry, and you don't play
Sean,
the game.
Yeah,
so
Sean hasn't played.
Kind of talking to myself.
I'd like to.
So anyway, conflict zones. Now I'm no expert. I still whatever the mostly harmless version of mercenary these days? What's the absolute got nowhere? Not even put your boots
mostly
on, right?
mercenary.
Harmless.
Harmless. I have no idea. I don't look at that part of the screen. Anyway, anti-aircraft turrets are going to be beefed up. So those of you who go in there and use your ships to support you, and you might find
they smell like barbecue when you shoot them.
And enforcers are coming to conflict zones, whatever they are.
An enforcer? Is that a
like,
bit like one of those advanced tactical responders or whatever they're called?
Big bugger.
Me. Yeah. We need Banter in here. He's the he's the combat geezer, isn't he? Or
he does foot stuff. Yeah,
foot stuff.
He does foot stuff.
Dead meat does foot stuff as well. And you're gonna have they're going to bring in NPC ships to be fighting overhead while you're doing a combat zone. Lovely. Anyway, Frontier, the Pilots Federation, are going to release a trailer all about it soon. The other thing coming in update 7 for the explorers amongst us, they're going to increase the number of bookmarks you can have from 120 to 200, so you can make notes of more places you'll never visit again.
Bigger mess.
I think I have like 3.
I keep having to delete some.
I delete the ones. I delete them as a finish thing.
Yep.
I just remember where.
Cloud Atlas says he believes that the lowest rank is red shirt.
No.
Yes. And since they're increasing bookmarks for the hoarders, I said, module storage is going to be increased. Now, I don't know what the maximum number of modules you can store is, but I'm nowhere near it. You need to sell some
120.
stuff, people. Have a clean out. Ring the man with the transit hauler.
120, I think it is, isn't it?
Is it? I've no idea. I just occasionally add stuff. It's all those new DSSs they keep giving us, those new swanky ones. A few of those. Station interiors are going to get a revamp and are going to be themed. So I reckon,
Going to be themed.
What do we think Hutton's going to look like? Probably get some abandoned Megagen bottles rolling around, some biffa bins, a couple of simp plungers, scratch and sniff, smell of damp dog.
Well, I mean, think of other places. You get the parade at Hutton, budget clones for you, McThargoid, the Hutton coffee shop.
Oh yes,
Studio 5,
what's
the lower rotunda and the upper rotunda, Wanda's, and the big aerial with the dodgy anti-collision light. It's not an anti-collision light. The flashing orange... No, it's not. The flashing
it's
orange
dodgy.
light is to tell you when the light's flashing, it means the Anaconda production line's jammed. And you have to go in with a big stick to clear it.
So that's why it keeps going off and then it's on and then it goes off and then it's on and then it's off.
Yeah.
Right.
Do you think that there's room for them to going to be doing an extension to Hutton? They would have to show where Cubicle 3 was at the end of a noob hammer, maybe.
Yeah.
Needs it. Kind of like an
obviously-
outdoor dunny on the engine pad 3.
Obviously, Cubicle 3 is next to where all those big tanks are.
They're not big enough. They're not big enough.
Yeah, don't ask what the tanks are for.
Always remember, people, Brown Sunday.
I've come a long way for what's in your hold. Really?
Right, so more community stuff going on.
Yeah, the usual stuff. It's always a good community news when they've got Lego. And
Okay.
I'm no expert on these newfangled ships, but was it a crate? I don't know.
Oh,
No
I
idea.
don't know.
But it was a
I
Lego
haven't seen
crate.
that.
Anyway, one of them got really excited.
Screenshots and stellar screenshots.
And that was kind of it. Then they did the usual and they went off and played the game and probably got killed by lots of people watching
I
on
think
Twitch and YouTube.
tonight with Bruce God, who was it that was on? I think it was Bruce and Art who were on tonight. And somebody crashed the ship and everybody died in that, which was entertaining. It was difficult to keep track because I was switching over to get logged in for Hutton stuff starting, so it would be round about 8 o'clock on the stream, and it all went a bit pear-shaped.
There's always one thing more pleasing than seeing your rebuy screen, isn't it? Seeing somebody else's rebuy
It
screen.
was just there was an incidence of repeatedly smashing off the side of the toast rack, whilst definitely not getting in because you can't squeeze between those bits, but definitely trying to hit in from the top of the toast rack and then bang rebuy screen.
Well, speaking of that, if you'd have to watch, I don't know if you watch the entire sort of live stream again. It's kind of in the middle, which doesn't help anybody. There was some guy, and I can't remember his commander name, but he was doing like flight assist off, going through the slot sideways, spinning round. Everyone thinks, yeah. He was doing an anaconda.
No,
Yeah, it was mad. It was like when you finally see him get inside the station, I'm thinking, shit, that's an anaconda.
I'm kind of glad I didn't see that because I don't think I would have survived.
Fantastic.
But there's enough people
way.
who just think themselves grateful that they had to get their anaconda out of the toast rack without using flight assist.
It was like spinning it, doing it backwards. It was incredible. It was like,
Excellent.
That's just showing off.
it's worth watching just for that.
Showing off is what other people can do and you can't.
Yes. When I do it, it's skill. Is that what you're saying?
No, not at all.
Right. So anyway, what's this thing about server restart?
Yeah, there was one this afternoon, wasn't there?
Oh, was there?
Yes, it was a 15-minute reboot. I wondered what it was because there had been some difficulties with things that people were doing with following clues for various things out there, and I've seen Burr and other people having issues where they had to go halfway across the galaxy to get a clue that said go back to where you were to start with, and some people couldn't get hold of it. So I'm sure to be in Galnet News. I'm sure we'll
There
probably
used to be an old
preempting
one
it.
like that. There used to be an old one like that in Hutton Space where you just get sent to a few clues and nothing happened. And it was supposed to be all Hutton people that was in it and things like that as well. I can't remember who it was that put that one in. I think it might have been Spike who put that one in. But it didn't work as planned, and you kind of went to a couple of places and it just stopped. It didn't matter where you kind of looked around for clues. It just took you to a dead end. And I often wondered if they ever fixed that. I need to go and have a wee look.
If there's a pile of people sitting around at the end point crying,
Yeah, because at one point I think you were supposed to go looking for Vantian's purple python.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
That's enough of that.
Yes.
And
Charity
just for the
news
record,
now. Go on.
about 5 seconds ago, I just got that, by the way, about 5 seconds ago. A nocturnal badger-sized burrowing animal from
Yes.
Africa
Oh,
with
we're
long
not-
ears, a tubular snout, and
Don't
long
say what it is yet.
extensible
Don't
we're
say
not-
what
we're
it
not
is.
there.
Don't. We're not
We're
there.
not
Don't
there
say
yet.
it
Tell
yet.
them, don't tell
say it,
them.
Don't tell them.
I just got that. I just got that.
Yes.
Good. Let's say charity
Can I
news
just-
now. Go,
Yes.
Helen. Yes. Yes,
Yes.
Floss.
Chemek Malachas, that's Roots Rat, is doing a stream for special effects this weekend.
Excellent.
Details are on a Facebook page, which we'll link. But what he actually said was, hey all, to celebrate 2 years on Twitch, I will be raising money on Special Effects, the amazing charity that customises gaming and computer equipment to allow people with disabilities use the computers and consoles and enjoy video games. They do it all for free and entirely dependent on donations. To do this, I will be live streaming continuously for 24 hours, starting 16:30 BST on Friday, 27th of August. And we'll put the link in the chat. There will be some amazing prizes to be won while raising money, including Excitic X52 Pro HOTAS, gaming mouse, unique paint jobs for Elite Dangerous, lots of games including a copy of ED Odyssey, and many more.
Excellent.
During the live stream, I will host many interviews with guests from the gaming industry, including people from Frontier Developments, Anshar Studios and Forever Entertainment. I will also host the Mexican Runner, a Guinness Book record holder, and Dan Grubb from Fantastic Books Publishing, as well as Martin Borkowski, the author of the first ever Polish video game. I'll be, of course, playing some games and doing some other things in the meantime. Feel free to pop in and say hello. Please also consider supporting this great cause and donating some money at justgiving.com fundraising cheese 21. Again, we'll post that in the chat. And on behalf of Special Effect, thanks for any and all donations. The full stream schedule and raffle prizes showcase is at bit.ly 3MANM7V. And please also visit my Discord for the updates about the live stream and my other projects on the Discord Roots Rat.
That sounds
Hope to
fantastic.
see you there.
That
Flossy.
sounds brilliant. Loads going on
Brilliant.
there.
Flossie, you had me at mouse mat.
What was that, sorry?
You had me at mouse mat.
And paint jobs, unique paint jobs.
Mouse mat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mine's absolutely
So-
falling to bits.
Ooh. A lovely
So,
paint job, though.
sounds good.
Ooh.
It's only 24 years old.
I'll just put some of these links in.
Yep. So, Amelia.
Amelia, so
Yes.
Amelia.
now the penny has plummeted.
Yes.
Plummeted about
The 0G credit, yes, has dropped.
Yes.
Moved
So-
in a
so-
gravitationally.
So tell me, Amelia.
Do you
what
mean we now get to talk about nocturnal badger-sized burrowing mammals from Africa with long ears and a tubular snout and a long extendable tongue feeds on ants and termites?
No,
That's the
the
one.
badger.
No, because it's
That's-
Aardvark.
Aardvark!
Time to move on.
Aardvark!
Time now for the Flossy. Why is it the Flossy? Time now for the
Flossy.
Flossy with the CG News. Do sing along.
When the universe is in trouble, bug infestations in the bubble, your home station's burned rubble. What on earth can we do when your faction leader's a dog and your daily tasks are a slog? You're feeling like a used cog. What on earth can we do now? Interstellar initiatives. Let Flossy tell you what it is. Then you can get involved with this. You should listen to what Flossy says. Interstellar initiatives. Flossy tells us what she this now. You should listen to what Flossy says. Listen to what Flossy says. What on earth can we do? Do what Flossy tells you to. What if she talks nonsense? Interstellar initiatives. Let Flossy tell you what it is. Then you can get involved with this. You should listen to what Flossy says. Now we've heard what Flossy said. You can put this matter to bed.
She
Just keep
can
your
have
voice
your
in your
cows.
Flossy told you what to do.
Hello, Flossy here with this week's CG News. Last week's CG's support Torvo Master Polos or reconstruction mining campaigns ended at 6 UTC with victory for Torvo Mastropolis, finishing past Tier 3 with nearly 8.5 tons collected. This means everyone in top 75% and above will receive the engineered mining laser as well as a permanent permit to the LTT 198 system. Recon Construction finished at Tier 2 with just over 3.5 tons collected, meaning only the top 10% and above will receive the abrasion blaster. And this week's new CGs? There won't be any. That's it for this week's CG News. Bye!
Flossy told you what to do.
Oh, brilliant.
Thank you, Flossy. All we can hope is that the Pilots Federation is gathering its strength for a bumper crop next week. Still, it gives combat pilots, like you, an excuse to go and help in Colonia.
I'll do missions.
In one of our news items earlier, we made an oblique reference to Laurel and Hardy, but they're just amateurs compared to these two clowns. Sit back and prepare to be amazed. And I'm assured that at no time do their hands leave their wrists, as Commander Beetlejude and Witherspoon, those masters of slapstick, amuse us all with this week's Galnet News Digest.
Galnet News Digest, 26th of August 3307. We read the news so you don't have to.
In this week's news, Winters warns of spreading rebellion.
The secret of Highford's cash.
War over medical helix hots up.
Torval celebrates win over Recon.
Winters warns of spreading rebellion.
Shadow President Felicia Winters has called for the repeal of the Domestic Counter-Terrorism Act, claiming that the Federation may face widespread rebellion if this unpopular piece of legislation is not reconsidered. But its architect, Jerome Archer, shows no sign of changing tack. Archer claims that the Proactive Detection Bureau has increased security and decreased the levels of crime throughout the Federation. While accepting that some individuals have refused to recognise the benefits of the Act, he remains confident that it remains beneficial to what is left of the Federation. A number of factions have already chosen to leave the Federation rather than have all their private messages read by Archer. Shadow President Winters described the laws as authoritarian and warned that other factions are queuing up to leave if nothing changes. The Sovereign rather excitedly claims that there could be as many as 50 factions planning to secede from the Federation and its snooping laws. The Federal Times remains hopeful that faction leaders will realise that the Federation offers security only to those who have chosen to remain within it, and suggested that those factions that have chosen to leave are now vulnerable to attack by unspecified hostile forces. The Secret of Highford's Cache.
As was widely anticipated, Highford's cache, at a crash type 9 on Colonia 5EA, started transmitting a new message today, 26th of August. It appears to be a trail leading to a secret location that Highford spoke about in his previous messages, the location to which occupied escape pods were being transported for what Highford describes as experiments. The message is an appeal to commanders to go and find that complex, to find what happened to those prisoners that were taken for experimentation, and to both remember them and to learn from what happened, so it can never happen again. Highford seems full of self-loathing for having assisted in transporting prisoners to this location. This new broadcast is not without problems. Commanders who've made the trek to Colonia to find out what the new message says will be less than amused that the location it points to is on the other side of the bubble, about 24,000 light-years from Colonia. Worse, many of those who flocked around the comms control cache found that it would only show its message to a select few. And even more bafflingly, the location in the message matches two different star systems. If you type HIP 26176 into the galaxy map, it takes you to 37 Phi 1 Orionis, which is also known as HIP 26176. But there's a completely separate HIP 26176 that you can find by typing the partial name into the galaxy map and choosing it from the drop-down. Because of intervening permit-locked regions, to get to it it's best to travel to the Witchhead Nebula, then on to the Orion Nebula Tourist Centre in PMD 200948, where Salvation's megaship full of Guardian technology is still stationed, and then on to the real HIP 26176. There you will find not the complex that Highford talks about, but a beacon, a listening post. Commanders have been working on the message discovered at that location. More information will follow in the next few days. War over a medical helix hots up.
In a surprise move, the Interstellar Health Organization has backed up. Kumo crew claimed that onion head gamma strain, also known as helix, can be good for you. But rival pharmaceutical companies have called foul. The Kumo crew's product marketing and sales division has been making seemingly outlandish claims that the recreational drug it sells at outlets in the industrial anarchies of Elisi, Baraswa, Kishbako, Nastrond and Nakori impart medicinal and psychological benefits, rather than just making the users feel unfocused, mildly disorientated and happy with a side helping of psychedelic colours. The IHO has backed up these claims, citing evidence that Helix can help manage psychological disorders and muscle and joint pain better than many conventional medicines. It claims that many users of the newly available drug are taking it for health reasons. Research is ongoing, and onion head gamma strain has not yet been certified for medical use by the IHO. Vandermeer, the largest of the pharmaceutical giants, strongly contests the IHO's findings, claiming that the regulatory body has been using biased and inaccurate data supplied by the manufacturers and retailers. Vandermeer produces its own range of antipsychotic treatments that it asserts do not have the psychedelic side effects of onion head gamma strain. Torval celebrates win over Recon.
Senator Zemina Torval's Torval Mustopoulos Mining Corporation has comprehensively defeated Recon Mining in the beauty contest to establish a headquarters in the permit-locked LTT-198 system. The top 75% of those who assisted will be granted an LTT-198 permit and a long-range mining laser by way of thanks. However, these rewards will take a few days to process. Rewards can be collected from the Pride of Bitterwood megaship in EGM 559. Director of Operations at Torval Mustopoulos Mining and daughter of the Senator, Constantia Torval, is arranging for a starport to be constructed in LTT-198 to serve as the new corporate headquarters. By contrast, Recon Construction will withdraw permanently from LTT-198. The top 10% of contributors to Recon's cause will receive an experimental and extremely exclusive long-range abrasion blaster.
And that's this week's Galnet News. Galnet News. We read the news so you don't have to.
Thank you to Commanders Beetlejuice and Witherspoon for whatever that was. We're getting ever closer to the green room segment of our show, and if you've ever overindulged and the room's currently spinning, this next bit is the perfect preparation for talking to the radio crew. It's over to Mia Harkness for the sports report.
Welcome to the Hutton Sports Report. The Hutton Sports Report is sponsored by the Hutton Helper, the only third-party resource to come with a pair of spare legs, just in case. This week we have the following events. The just because it's space weed doesn't mean you can smoke it, galaxy-wide chill out, man. The I found a load of grenades and medkits just lying around, so I stole them, cup. The promise to do a job for that dodgy guy outside the bar, final. The he's scanning me, run! Cross-country race. The you forgot to switch your shield on again, didn't you? Tournament, second round. The taxi isn't fast enough, backseat driver challenge. Right, window shopping at Pioneer Supplies is worth double. Overcharging your friend's suits results in disqualification. And always check those corners. This week's classified results are Darth Spinner, 49. Zabadian, 23. Chris Hankey, 17. Baron Van Marlen, 15. LDSK, 328.5. Darkness Seas 101, 198.5. Attic, 127. Goatee, 60. Goatee, 355. Happy Shrapnel, 141. Darkness Seas 101, 3,562. JNX, 3,000. Elgin City, 2. Haddington Athletic, 3. Greenock Morton, 1. Peterhead, 3. Haghole Caledonian Thistle, 2. Avic United, 2. LHS 3447 Mavericks, 1. PSPF LF2 Flappers, 2. Decals there for Darkness Seas 101. Please email itookpart@huttonorbital.com and arrange to collect your Hutton decal kit, which this week consists of a pot of paint and a ladder for you to use with your fancy legs, unless you're on console. 3 Hutton runs this week, and 2 of them are from Kaitiana, whose best time was 1 hour, 24 minutes and 47 seconds, which puts them in 212th place. Agathazol, sounds like something for the Old Testament, recorded a time of 1 hour, 54 minutes and 8 seconds, and that puts them in 564th place overall. Hardy's record of 1 hour, 22 minutes and 20 seconds is safe for another week. Are you bored? Since outbreak and lockdown are over, have you been to all the pubs, eaten all of the food and licked all of the people? Did you burn your mask like the women of old Earth did with their undergarments back in the 1960s? And now you have no support for all of your chins, so they just droop down and sag around the bottom of your neck? Are you so bored you're taking lateral flow tests just to see if you can do it without bulking? You need something to do. Something wonderful. And Hutton, it can help, says the guy from last week. Okay. How do you ask? Well, I'll tell you how. Just go to hot.forthemug.com and download or sign up for the Hutton Helper before going out there and doing Hutton stuff. Let's face it, anything has to be better than hanging around Space Bus Simulator looking at the inside of an adder with the lights out. Well, that's it for this week, because I clicked my mouse and tapped my keyboard so loud the engineer has a headache. So, back to Studio 5.
Thank you, Mia. Now, we don't have a Galnet Rares Digest tonight, but what we do have is the Green Room. So for everyone who's waiting until the last minute to change TeamSpeak channels, this is the last minute. And I noticed we don't actually have a Green Room feed in the Green Room, so I don't know how they're hearing what's going on. But chaps, let us move to the Green Room. And here I am. I'm waiting for my people to
I'm
join.
here.
Hello.
Beam me up, Scotty.
They're in
Am I here?
Very funny now. Beam down my clothes.
Nice.
No, because this is the silent. This is the.
That usually means that they don't have permission to speak, I think.
Which is going to be.
Excellent. This is going to be quick.
Yes, this is going to be good because the other, the other channel doesn't
Can
exist.
you hear me, Mother?
Yes, we can.
This is seamless.
Well done, Jim. Now, good. So it is working.
Is there anybody there?
We just noticed there weren't the two green rooms. There's usually a silent and a speaky one.
Tap once for yes and twice for no.
It's
Turn
your
up the
Auntie
corridor,
Ethel.
chat enabled.
That'll be a no then.
I don't know how to.
Right, Harry, you start. Who's first on the list?
Right, gonna go. Mia, you go first.
Oh, am I going first? Right.
Yeah.
Aidan, how have you been? What have you been up to?
Get closer to the mic, Aidan. Aidan, you're a million miles away.
You're a million miles away and in a tumble dryer.
Well,
that's better.
That's because I'm using not my usual microphone.
Ah, okay.
You're using next door's microphone, presumably.
No, I'm using a mobile phone microphone because I'm not at home.
No.
Are you out doing exciting, wonderful things, or are you
got
just
shut
out
down
doing
again.
boring, everyday things?
None of the above.
Oh.
I'm visiting my parents, and I've spent the last 4 days out on the water, not quite field ratting. Basically making sure that people, the young and upcoming citizens of the world don't, fall in the water and drown themselves.
Yeah. That sounds like wonderful and exciting things to me.
It sounds wonderful and exciting.
Except for the water bit.
To drown them.
Yeah. Have you had any elite time?
With my elite time, I've just been going into an anarchy system and going, oh, hi. There isn't a rule 11 here, is there? There is no 11th commandment of thou shalt not get caught. Or rather, if somebody says, you can't do that, my answer is, I've got a silenced shotgun. Do you want to take this further?
Oh, okay. Okay, so you've been running around shooting people in anarchies systems then?
Yes.
Okay. Well, that's a fun day out.
Well, it means that I've managed to pick up a few bits and pieces for my personal weapons, so can't complain too much.
Oh, that's good. That's good. I don't know what that means, but yeah, that's going to be good.
Oh, it's the new grind, Mia. So I'd apologise, but then I'd be
You'd be stealing my thunder. Yeah.
I'm
still on the old grind, I'm afraid. So yeah, but there you go. Right. Yeah. So is that you? You've been up to anything else then?
I'm hunting around for somebody to join the samurai game I was talking about a couple of months ago. Basically, we've got a slot freed up, and I think Amelia was interested last time. So I'd say, if you're interested this time, still interested, drop me a line. It's on Discord and Roll20.
Is this the RPG?
Yes.
Oh, I've been so busy lately. I've completely forgot about it. Can you remind me?
Legend
just
of the
did.
Five Rings. Play samurai, Oriental stuff. I can send you a link to. I think I threw you a friend's request on Discord, Amelia. So
On Discord, right?
Yes.
I hardly ever use Discord.
yes, well, I'm sure you can
Recidivist.
find me on Facebook. So
What's the recidivist?
Someone who doesn't want to join in.
Oh, that's not true. I always want to join in. You know me.
Mm.
the mild snag is that for this game we do use Discord as the voice chat option.
Yes, I do have it. I just it's so rare. I use.
Yeah, well, it's all on there, and I can.
I will accept your friend request as soon as I jump on there next, which will be right after the show.
And I will send you a link to the various bits of stuff.
Awesome.
And if you're interested, drop me a message. Next game is next Wednesday, and we're a reasonable bunch of people.
Nice.
Well,
Okay.
I say that because I'm trying not to scare people. Because
Are you the GM?
no, I'm not the GM. I am one of the humble players, and I seem to have gone. I'm going to play somebody who's from a the outsiders and viewed as barbarians. Wait, hang on a sec. What? I'm
Excellent.
the nice guy. Wait,
Do I need any books? Should I get anything specific for this?
you could. There are books available online for this, and I can send you a link if that.
Yeah,
is
send
not
a reading
against
list for
your,
that one, I think.
Not against your moral code.
She doesn't have
Sorry,
one.
moral code. What
She
is
doesn't
this
have one.
that you talk about?
Yeah.
I was going to say, what is this thing? Moral code?
It's a thing that happens to other people. We'll show you pictures later on.
Pictures! I love pictures.
Yeah.
I'm being polite, and but I wasn't quite sure how what your views on alternately procuring stuff were.
I've never actually played this roleplay before, but chances are, if I like it, I'll be buying copies of it anyway. So to add to my extensive collection home here, because I'm a big RPG fan.
Yes,
That's rocket
but no,
propelled grenade in your case.
Shh, shh, shh.
6 of one, half dozen of the other. They both act as weapons of destruction.
Well, Amelia and rocket propelled grenades, yes.
Okay.
Well,
On
but
that
anyway,
note,
that was it really.
okay.
So,
But you have to say the magic words.
You mean the words I just said?
No, the magic words.
Oh, what? Aardvark?
No,
That'll do. That'll do.
That'll do.
Close enough.
Right.
That'll do.
And next on my magic list that I haven't actually told anybody else about, it's Helen, it's Flossy to talk to Litho. We're going to go through and talk to you incomers first, and then we will talk amongst ourselves afterwards because it's less interesting. So, Flossy, talk to Litho.
Hello, Little Breaker. How are you doing?
Hi, Flossy. I'm doing fairly well. I'm on holiday next week, thank God. Not going anywhere or doing anything.
You're not going anywhere.
Just escaping from work.
Yes, it's nice not to be working, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, this week I think I've taken a trip back in time to sometime in the 80s.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Gone to Wales.
You've had a perm.
No, well, the company had to buy me a new printer with a built-in scanner because this week I have printed out over 200 pages of documentation, which I've had to go through by hand, filling out with a pen,
No.
and scanning and sending on to the next person to sign off their bits.
No.
Oh, right.
That's just madness.
It's absolutely nuts.
It's the 1880s.
Yeah. It's ridiculous. But hey, that's what the quality assurance people require. Actual ink signatures. The fact that one of the signatures is in America and one is in the north of England and one is in the south of England and one is in France.
I believe the correct term for that is a wet signature.
It is, yeah.
Yeah.
And I've got 200 pages of wet signatures and a very sore hand.
Wow, I bet you have.
I think it's an entirely different subject.
Yes.
Well, yes, that was just recovering from all of the work I've been doing. So.
Well, I hope you enjoy your break anyway this week.
Yeah, it'll be good. I'll actually probably even get some elite time in. Running around planet surfaces, shooting people. That should be fun.
Don't shoot me.
Other than that, it's kind of a for the mug for me. Or should that be for the aardvark?
All right, thank you for the mug.
Then, chicks, on my list, that makes you next to talk to Night Ranger.
Hello, Night Ranger.
Hello, day crew.
Oh, it's the night shift. Howdy, Night Ranger.
How are we all doing today?
Well, that was my next line. How are you all doing? How are you, and what have you been up to this week?
Oh, the Night Ranger is grounded for a while. I had shoulder surgery, and so I'm learning to live left-handed.
Some of us have had 60 years of living left-handed. Don't knock it.
Yeah. Living left-handed is a way of life for some of us.
Yes, but I haven't, so it's been a little interesting.
So you're a bit slow and you're taking time to catch up. I don't know.
Can you not use some tape and strap something to your head to hit buttons with?
I've been trying.
Yeah.
We've been trying lots of interesting things.
Learn to use your feet.
I have parked myself at Dav's, and I've learned to drive the SRV around with one hand, and that's interesting.
That's doable. That's doable. So, and how long is this situation likely to persist?
That I don't know yet. My post-op is next Wednesday, and hopefully they'll actually tell me something. But that's what you get when you tear a rotator cuff.
Ooh, that sounds bad.
Maintenance, you gotta love getting old. Yeah,
I've
don't
had the
get old.
rotator cuff
Stuff
and
starts falling apart.
Yeah, bits fall off, and you have to pick them up.
Well, as long as you put them in a safe place, everything's fine.
I injured my shoulder a couple of years ago. It was horrible.
Ah, so you've been hooning. I think the technical term is hooning around in your SRV around Dav's Hope.
For about a week and a half now.
Doing some one-handed hooning.
Do you have all of your materials stocked up then?
Yes, I've already had to make a trip to the trader to get rid of it because I filled everything.
Excellent.
Except one. Is it one slot? So you've got to trade one. You've got to have some empty slot in your back.
Not the material trader.
No, not material
traders. Material
traders.
trader. It's the other guy at the bar.
That's the one where you talk to the dodgy barman.
Because I'm having to play in Horizon. There is no material over in Odyssey.
Oh, you're one of us. You're one of us. Poor but honest.
Matter of fact, in Odyssey, Davs is on the other side of the planet.
Yeah, it's on the dark side, isn't it?
Never underestimate.
They have cookies.
Welcome to the dark side.
Yes, but I couldn't find them. It was dark.
You don't know the power of the dark side.
That's such a sexy voice.
You've not met my ex.
It's like duct tape, isn't it? It has a light side and a dark side, and it binds the universe together.
Oh, God.
Binds ducks together.
Oh, all we need now is for him to crack out his Dyson with death joke, and we've completed the set. I need that for Chicks Bingo.
We could do one, couldn't we?
Yeah, we
so
could.
do. So what else, Mr. Iron? Are you? What about going to work or doing whatever you do ordinarily? How's that going? Driving?
They've got me on FMLA at the moment, so. Otherwise, I'm off for probably a month or so.
Hang on, what's
lots of good drugs
FMLA?
and feeling pretty good.
Yeah. What was that, apology officer?
FMLA?
Don't you know what that is?
Didn't they blow up the stations?
It's FMLA.
Yeah.
FMLA.
What's FMLA?
Well, they're having more fun than me.
I think it's out by LHS 1358, I think.
Oh, right, okay.
I believe on this side of the pond, it's a Family Medical Leave Act. I think that's what it stands for.
Oh, sickie.
Right, okay.
Sick.
Yeah,
yeah.
Thrown a sickie.
Yeah.
Yeah, maintenance. It's kind of hard to work with just one hand and tear machines apart.
So
It's a doctor's note.
Yeah.
So what life experience this? So what have you found that you thought would be impossible?
Oh God! Don't ask this question because he might answer.
So,
what have you learned to do left-handed that you never thought you could do left-handed?
It's like because
I really shouldn't answer that.
Yeah.
On the day shift, we tend to hold a fork in our left hand, and we eat on the day shift with a fork in the left hand and a knife in the right. But on the night shift,
Except me.
Okay.
Except me.
I'm going to say, other than writing, which I can write left-handed, but it's not very legible.
I can write left-handed. It's not very legible, but that's the only hand I
I
can
do
write
the
with.
same.
You could be a doctor.
Because I have a little a target practice and shooting. I have learned to be
I never even thought of that,
semi-ambidextrous with both hands. So I can eat really good with my left. Matter of fact, with my chopsticks, I'm better with my left hand than I am my right.
So forget eating and writing. We're onto shooting already.
Yeah. He hits a target, but usually it's his neighbour's target he hits.
Yeah. Is this handguns or bigger, longer guns?
I have both, but mine mostly is black powder. I do reenactment stuff.
Oh, wow. What sort of vintage black powder?
Ramming your rod.
Civil War.
Oh, right. Yeah. So mini and... Mine is slightly later. Mine's 1876. Black powder.
That fits right in, too. I mean, you started getting into a lot of that there towards the end of the war when we started getting cartridges and stuff.
Martini Henry.
Ooh, Rock's Drift.
Ah, boom.
Yeah, that was 1879, though.
It was, but the rifles, 1871 was first came out, the Mark 1s. The Mark 2s, mostly Mark 1s at Rock's Drift, some converted to Mark 2s.
Yeah.
Because the regiment went out in 1877. And they weren't Welsh before anybody pipes up.
I was just checking through my sound effects library. I'm just going to see if I can go and find a yawn to download.
you know that's what the safe word is for, Sean. That's why we have a safe word.
But to answer the question, so far, knock on wood, I've been doing pretty good.
Good.
Excellent. Well, thank you for joining us.
Well, and on that mark, good and hearty for the mug. For the aardvark, as we're doing today.
For the mug.
For the aardvark.
And with my secret script here, anybody who's been paying attention will notice there's still 2 people left on the list who haven't spoken to anybody yet. I'm next to talk to Amelia. How the devil have you been, lovely lady?
Pretty good.
Right, next. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't been on ED much, but I have been doing exciting things. One.
Tell us.
Somebody take it off him.
Thanks for that. I went down to the Jurassic Coast to fossil hunt. And I am now the proud owner of part of a mosasaur jaw.
Wow.
Ooh.
Yeah. That's kind of cool.
Did you have to hire a van to bring it home?
Did you have to fight,
no, but I did have to
fight the mosasaur for the rest of it?
I did have to lug it up a hill, and it's pretty heavy. So it's pretty big, pretty heavy. And I had to lug it up a massive hill because we parked at the top of a hill, which was very stupid. But I didn't expect.
You didn't expect to find the mosasaur jaw.
I definitely didn't expect to lug so much weight home.
So it wasn't so much carrying the stone; it was the big coat you had to wear over the top of it, so that nobody could see you walking away with it.
So exactly how big is this thing?
It's only a piece.
I've regretted asking that before. So it's only a piece.
Yeah, it's only a piece. It is. Let me think. It's about 1.5 feet long.
I was just going to ask if you still see Sandrine when you had it in front of, but yeah, okay, fair enough. Yes, you probably can do. It's not that big then.
It's about 1.5 feet long and about 1/2 foot wide.
It's not too big, but that's going to be heavy.
It's a rock, so it's pretty heavy.
Yeah.
Sorry, what was that, chicks?
What's that in new money?
1/2 metre by about...
1/2 foot is 15
That's about
centimetres.
a quarter.
I think you mean 457 millimetres by 153.
Yeah,
about a quarter of a metre long by 30 centimetres wide ish. Something like that.
That's a foot, that.
Yeah.
Millimetres.
Right, well, less than 30 centimetres then, probably.
15.
No, it's more than 15.
It's yeah.
15's half a foot.
It's an armful.
I hesitate to ask, but is it important?
No, not really.
It's
So-
probably heavy, was it?
So what sort of age are we talking?
About 65 to 68 million years old, obviously. I haven't.
So right at the end.
Yeah, it would have been. It would have been pretty about 65 to 68 million years old, but that's just a guess because it's not been carbon dated yet.
Well, just think next week it'll be 68 million years in a week.
Be worth more.
Yeah, well, definitely more. You get that on Antiques Roadshow.
The age doesn't matter. It was a dinosaur.
You'll have to change
Got
your
a
sign
bit of a
now.
dinosaur.
You know your sign that says 320 days without mesosaurs? You'll have to score it out and then change it.
It's only ever 2 days without them.
Yeah.
It's also called a mosasaur, not a mesosaur.
A mosasaur, yeah.
Everybody grab a dinosaur. What?
A mosasaur, isn't that thing that the
I'm still
drove?
Sorry, Chick, say again?
Don't ask him to say it again, for goodness sake.
The Motosaurus, that's the thing the Flintstones drove around, isn't it? You stick your feet through the bottom and...
oh, God.
Mosasaurus.
Yabba dabba doo-doos.
Yeah. I'm just looking at a picture of it now. 28 tons. Wow.
Yeah, they were big.
Big.
Were they carnivorous?
55 feet
Yes,
long.
they were carnivorous. They were actually they were
Apex
a sea creature, but they were carnivorous, not a piscivore or they didn't actually eat fish. They ate meat, and they would leap out of the sea to grab things like pteranodons and stuff.
Wow.
So
they just like hoover up all the animals along the coast then.
Well,
you really were dicing with death.
To those of you listening to the recording, this is why we have our voices at the end, why we speak to each other after everyone else, because it allows you to go home at this point. Just stop the recording.
Yes, I just had to complete the set.
So the thing, I'm just reading something about these at the moment. It says they're double hinged jaws open wide for any prey, including plesiosaurs.
Plesiosaurs.
And
and doesn't please me at all.
And great white sharks.
Well, great white sharks weren't the largest shark back then. You had you had megalodons, which were the largest shark that ever lived, and you can get their teeth. I actually went into a little place down on the coast near Lyme Regis, and they have a full size megalodon jaw full of teeth to give you to let you see how big they were, and they are huge.
According to this, it scores high on the aggression index. I've got to look at the aggression index. What's that about?
It did until Jason Statham punched it in the face.
That's right. Sorry, I mean, Harry, just a minute. How can my Martini Henry be boring now? Come on.
Let me count the ways.
It does have the
1.5 inch bayonet.
It does have the word martini in it.
It does.
That always livens them up. Anyway.
Yes, but anyway, while it might not seem the most exciting thing, I'm very excited.
It's exciting to you, and that's apparently all that counts.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
So, for the mug, Harry, thanks.
Yeah.
Always like to big people up. It's your turn now, Amelia, to talk to Mia.
Hello, Mia.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm fine. Bored now. No. No, I've been okay. I'm doing something very exciting. I am still jumping my way back in a Type 6 from Beagle Point.
Oh, wow. How's the trip going?
Slowly.
Yeah, but surely you're seeing all these interesting and groovy things
I
along the
found
way.
2 unclaimed Earthlikes today. I found 2
Just
unclaimed
today?
Earthlikes, yeah.
Same
Claim now,
system.
they're bloody mine.
Same system.
No.
Wait a minute, you got to get back and hand in the data for them to actually be yours.
Yeah, but nobody else is going to go to where I've been.
What you said, you should lick them.
Sure?
Most of the time.
Yeah, I did stop off and have a good look at them, so yeah, they're mine now anyway.
You had a good look at them.
I licked them. I'm not, no,
you know when you lick a biscuit or a cake, and you say,
I licked it, so it's mine.
Nobody's going to put it back in the tin. You know.
So I've done that.
Some of us
Found
don't care.
loads and loads of water worlds and countless. Well, not countless. I'm sure you can count them, but many terraformable worlds. I've been using the chicks method,
So
and I've
how
found
many fleet carriers are you going to buy when you get back?
None.
So yeah, when you get back, you're going to be rich.
Yeah, I'm going to be richer than I am now. So, yep, very exciting stuff. That's what I've been doing. And outside of Elite, I have been doing wee jobs about the house because I'm off on holiday this
Doing
week.
wee jobs? You better go clear that up right now.
I did say jobs and not jobbies.
We'll get floor.
If
We'll
you
send
leave
floor
it,
mopping
it's
guy
going to
around.
smell.
Yeah, if you leave it, it'll smell. And it'll burn through the floor downstairs. That happened before, right enough. Anyway, for the mug.
For the mug.
Which brings us back to the beginning. So it's Mia, you to talk to chicks.
Oh, my
Oh, God. Chicks, tell us about your Martini Henry rifle. Just tell us, what have you been up to in Elite? Come on. Weed bothering.
I haven't logged in this week.
What?
I'm still in West Britain.
Oh yeah, they don't have the internet there yet.
Well,
you don't want to be
evidently,
You don't want to be playing Elite in black and white either.
Here I am. That's just Scottish nationalism coming out for you.
It's something like that.
Yeah. So now I've been so busy.
Busy? What have you been busy doing?
Well, I've been in the garden. I've
You've been busy standing in rooms and places round about your house.
I've been stung 4 times this week.
Oh, excellent.
Yeah. I went to empty out one of the compost bins in the garden and realised there was a wasp nest in it the hard way.
Ouch.
Oh dear.
So I thought, right, I'm going to put on my big rubber suit. Don't laugh. And thick boots and gloves and all the rest of it. And I attacked it. And
don't tell me you got
stung again.
You got a wasp inside your suit.
I did, yeah. One up the arm and one in the hood. So I got stung on the arm.
Oh, that's not what I thought you were going to say.
And one on the head.
I didn't think you were going to say one up the arm.
So,
so
my old banger of a car has been sitting here for nearly 18 months since the start of lockdown. So I thought, at some point I've got to get the spent fuel out of it. So I thought I'll pump it out with the fuel pump. Fuel pump was knackered, so I fixed that. And then what do you do with spent fuel? You torch wasp nests with it. So the other night we had a bit of a... In fact, I did it twice because the first time it didn't fully...
We're still talking about burning wasp nests here,
yeah,
aren't we?
Yeah,
So okay.
I doused them in half a pint of petrol and torched the bastards last night.
Right.
So
still in your rubber suit
all
then?
Cleared away. I know, and it's a bit sweaty in the summer in that. So all kinds of stuff.
If you know any wasps, and you've been affected by anything that's happened in this program,
I killed one with a rake today. Anyway, that's a different story. So
That takes skill.
All kinds of stuff.
It was on the bonnet of his car.
Went out for a nice pootle around the countryside this afternoon. Been fairly low tides this week, so lots of low tide walks on the beaches. It's not been a good week for the starfish this week.
Oh no!
I really wished you wouldn't use those euphemisms.
Let's just move on because I know you're building up to something when you're making this.
No, we don't really low tide.
Is this something in the sea or a personal starfish we're talking about?
No, this is in the sea. Never mind your chips.
Yeah.
The seagulls, when it's low, they know it's low tide, so they get a bloody starfish Armageddon down there.
Oh, God.
And there's kids on the beach traumatised. Oh, Mom, it's got a starfish. It's like, oh, my God.
Oh, yeah, that's what they
do. And, of course, they try to swallow them whole, which is funny because these seagulls look like they've got this ridiculous orange moustache. They're trying to gam it down a starfish, and they can't, so they just end up ripping the legs off the things, and it's all a bit sad, really. Nature. Everyone loves nature, but it's fucking barbaric.
Red in tooth and claw.
Yeah. On that happy note.
So there's been lots of that. And just
lots of death.
Spent the weekend.
Lots of death.
Chicks spent the week killing and watching other creatures being killed.
Well, there's that, but it's too nice this week. It's been really, really sunny
weather
here this
was
week.
nice,
so
so I
it's too
killed
nice to
things.
sit indoors playing Elite.
Oh well.
And I'm so knackered when I come in.
I bet you are.
Well, it's like, get up, you're outside for 10, 12 hours a day.
Dealing
Killing
death.
stuff.
Yeah, Commander
Die-
Chicks,
die
killer
some
of
death.
millions.
Yeah.
Much more of that, and you'll be equal with Flossy.
I've been making stuff. I made
what?
actually slightly Elite themed. I made a bracket for my joystick. I finished that today, so that's going back to London next week.
Excellent.
I can clamp it to the dining room table, and my joystick will
What,
be
you
a
mean
bit
like Jed, the Beverly Hillbillies?
That's right. Clamp it.
A fancy eating table.
I'm thinking about putting it in a cement pond.
That's enough. I want out. I want out, Aardvark.
For the Aardvark.
Which means that it's. How do I work this out? That's who's
It's
not.
not you to talk to you, is it?
No,
Who
it's. Have we spoken to Flossy yet?
We haven't spoken to Flossy
No,
yet.
nobody's spoken to me yet.
now.
I'll talk to Flossy then, and then
And then.
Oh no!
Why don't you talk
actually,
to you and
Chicks
Flossy?
It's Chicks' turn to talk to Flossy.
I was going to say.
Oh, you were going to do it, so I don't have to.
No, all right.
Why don't you and
Hi,
Sean, why
Flossy.
don't you and Flossy talk to one another?
Nobody wants to.
Let's do it. I'll talk
Flossy.
to you, Flossy, and then you can talk to me. That's
Flossie,
it.
how
'Cause
how
we can
was
be
your
friends
week, Flossie?
together. How have you been?
Yeah, Flossy, how's your
Flossy,
week been?
how have you
Flossy,
been?
yeah, how have you been, Flossy?
How you been, Flossy?
You
Flossy,
leave
how
my
you been?
friend alone, you lot.
You leave my friend alone, you.
I've just mute everybody else.
Right. Yeah. I haven't been too bad. I've been. As you know, I was mining a lot of the week for the CGs. Running away from pirates and things.
Yes.
Getting blown up. Yeah.
Very dearly.
In fact, I got blown up last night. I didn't actually tell you that, did I?
No.
How dare they do that to you? Do they not know who you are? The pirates, how dare they shoot? How dare they blow you up?
Well, I'd got a nice full hole, plus all full refinery. I was heading back to the CG place, and I got interdicted, and I was almost about to jump, and I thought, oh yes, it's going to do it. It's going to jump, and it didn't. And I came out of the interdiction thingy, and you killed me.
No.
Yeah.
The
Swine. So I thought, have I got time to start again? No, not really, but I did. And I ended up playing till about 2 o'clock this morning.
You kids, what are you like?
Yeah.
All hours.
Yeah.
That's because school's out. You wait till school starts, then you get back into normal times.
School? Why? Who goes to school?
Ooh, I've got the truant officer around.
Get the knit nurse.
Other than that, well, I was volunteering last night for the vaccinations at the health centre.
No, you can only have one each. You can't just volunteer and turn up every day and ask for another one. It doesn't work like that.
No, making sure that they all stand in line and socially distanced and masked up and everything, and
Flossy
move
told them
on
what
as
to
they
do.
need to. Move on down the queue, please, you know.
Ding ding, fares please.
In me
Feet off the seats.
bright orange thingy.
That's too much information.
I had a bright orange
Tabard,
thingy
whatever.
once, but
Yeah.
managed
No,
to
it's not a
get to the
tabard.
doctor.
Like a jacket. High-vis jacket.
Put the batteries back.
We had a nice walk the other night. Down by the beach. Hang on, he's just coming with a load of shopping.
Anything
So, yeah, we had a nice walk down by the coast. Took a few photos and things. But other than that, for the mug.
Thank you. Your turn to talk to me.
You know, even Gary asked Sean what his week was like.
What was your week been like? Don't tell me you've been cooking.
Yes, I've been cooking. Saturday, we watched a stream of South Pacific, the musical from Chichester, which was excellent. Much better than Chichester.
Evening.
Yes, it was. Sam and Janet evening, yes. And last night we watched a live stream from the Old Vic of a play called Baghdad Cafe, which was an hour and a half when nothing happened, but in a very nice way. It was very nice. So that's what I did take advantage of the free play thing for Star Citizen. I downloaded this enormous thing and then sat there with something almost equally big downloaded. It's much bigger than anything I've seen for Elite. And there were some nice bits in there, but I am not. No, it didn't convince me. There are some prettier bits, but mostly much crappier. The fact that all the NPCs ignore you as you're wandering around the station, I thought, well, this is no good. What's the point in that? You can't at least the ones in Elite say, "Do you mind?" and they get out of the way.
Yeah, and they got oof if you bump into them.
So that was good. So I can see why some people like it, but I got to the end. I played for about half an hour, 45 minutes, and I got as far as finding where my ship was and managing to power the ship up, but I couldn't actually take off. And I thought, oh, bollocks to this. So that's been my week.
God.
So
that's another reason for me not to even try it. That's good.
When I thought I'd do it while it was free, other than spending about 4 hours downloading it. But that's it. So I'm going to say quickly, and yes, I did do some cooking, and we've got people coming this week saying about 80s. It's my. Oh, I can't say because he might be listening to this. My brother-in-law is a commander, and he's coming, and I can't tell him what we're going to be doing because he might listen to this. Oh, bum. Oh well. All right. Well, that's that. Then I'm going to just say for the mug.
Extricate
Come
yourself.
on, tell us all.
No, I can't.
You can tell us all at the after show.
Thank you for the mug, then.
Cute. Then that brings us to the end. We haven't had any late people joining us. So shall we wander back up to our little room?
Yeah, Millstone Barn tried to get here.
He did.
So kudos. He tried.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kudos. Is that like a Greek sausage?
Yeah.
Kudos.
Yes.
I thought it was Brazilian.
No, it's Greek. And it's not a plural. There is no such thing as a kudo.
Kudo.
I've seen.
So you can only have multiple kudos.
No, it's not multiple. It's just a word. It's just a word that happens
to end in S.
It doesn't need an
apostrophe.
You can't have one kudo. You have to have multiple kudos.
You have a kudos, or you have more than one kudoses.
It's just a word that happens to end in S.
Kudopodes.
Yeah.
Like arse would if you spelt it wrongly. Okay, let's.
It's like sheep.
It is. Moving back to our room. Leave these poor people to sleep.
Yes.
I wonder what that noise was.
Open for me.
Come on, get coming back in here. Come on, that's it. Hey, well, that's sent everybody to sleep, I'm sure, but in a lovely, lovely way. Do we have anything else we want to share? Again. Oh, you'll wake them up. Chicks, you have to wake up, but you have to take your headphones off.
Sorry, what?
Take your headphones off. Now let's talk about him.
I'm just holding them away from my head.
Okay. Thank you, everybody. Thanks to the crew tonight. We've had a good time. It's been quite fun. Thank you to people who came to see us in the green room. Please tell your friends.
It's only 10:15.
It's all right. We're not doing badly. That's an hour and 3/4.
Is that
like quarter of an hour more than what we normally do?
Is that my community Is that my community service finished then?
No, I think it's a length record for one of my shows. Yeah. I think it's probably the longest one ever.
Yes, but you've got to hand back the high-vis jacket.
Yeah.
They won't. When they see what I've built on it, they won't want it. All right. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, crew. That's been brilliant. I think it just remains for us to say see you next week. And Amelia.
For the mug!
For the mug.
Journey too long, cargo too small. Profit margins never really mattered at all. We're gonna take the cargo where it's needed today. Super cruising all across the Milky Way. We're taking anything, anytime, anywhere. Loading all the teen out to the brim with the rest for the more, for the more, for the more, for the more. Yeah, you know just where we're coming from. For the more, for the more, for the more, for the more. Yeah, everybody sing the trucker song. Flossy always seems to crash into the sun. Skibble lies the pilot on the Xbox One. Alvin out the free, you know he leads us well. Trucking across the galaxy, now everybody out. For the more, for the more, for the more, for the more. Yeah, you know just where we're coming from. For the more, for the more, for the more, for the more. Everybody sing the Hutton Trucker song. For the more, for the more, for the more. You know just where we're coming from. For the more, for the more, for the more, for the more. Everybody sing the Hutton Trucker song. So give me a large path that I can land on, and I'll give you cargo and sing you my song. No point 22 light years to go, cruising to no journey too long, no cargo too small. The profit margins never really mattered at all. We're gonna take the cargo where it's needed today. Super cruising all across the Milky Way. We're taking anything, anytime, anywhere. So shout it out loud, like you don't even care. For the more, for the more, for the more, for the more. Yeah, you know just where we're coming from. For the more, for the more, for the more. Everybody sing the Hutton Trucker song. For the more, for the more, for the more. Yeah, you know just where we're coming from. For the more, for the more, for the more. Everybody sing the Hutton Trucker song.